Let's update you now with more strike action, because we're now talking about dockers who are due to strike at the port of Felixstowe in the east of England. It's the UK's largest container shipping port, and that's due to start tomorrow. It's over, yes, workers' pay, and due to last 8 days. It's likely to have a huge effect on the supply chain across Britain.
The Felixstowe Dock and Railway Company had offered workers a £500 lump sum on top of a 7% pay rise. But around 1,900 members of the Unite union have rejected that offer on the basis that it simply won't meet inflation rates.
Well, let's now speak to, Robert Morton, who can join us, who's the national officer of the Unite union involved in this. Robert, thanks for speaking to us this morning. I gather that you've got a tabled offer of 7% plus a £500 lump sum. There may be many of those watching at home thinking, do you know, that's not a bad offer.
At the same time, there may be many at home thinking that it's not good enough. If you realise that the RPI is running now at 12.3%, if you accept 7%, then your standard of living goes down by 5.3%. And as for the £500, it's an insult because if you do your maths and you take away the national insurance increase that the government have foisted upon us, and also the income tax, you end up roughly with just over £300. So it's a worthless offer as far as we are concerned.
Right, but you're not seriously asking for a 12.1% pay deal, are you? Because clearly, given what Rishi Sunak, for instance, has said about inflation, that's really going to add to our problems across the board.
No, what adds to our problems across the board are the profits that are being made by employers these days. And the employer we're talking about now, if you look at the last set of books that they presented to Companies House, you will find that they made £60 million profit and paid out over £90 million in dividends. This is what drives inflation, not the rise in wages. And the answer to your question is yes, I do expect an increase of 12%. Just yesterday, Unite the Union with two other companies realised wage increases of 13 and 12%. So yes, I do believe that it is working our strategy, and I expect this to happen at Felixstowe Docks too.
Just for the benefit of anyone watching and listening right now who isn't familiar with Felixstowe and the fact that it is what I think the UK's largest container shipping port, what is a 7-day, 8-day strike going to do? I mean, all of these ships won't be able to unload. Will they be able to come into port? What will happen?
No, they won't be able to come into the port. They won't be able to discharge. And we have connections all over the world. And what we are saying, we cannot have secondary action in this country, but we can have secondary action internationally. And that's what's going to happen to any ships involved in Felixstowe during this dispute. And the answer to your question is because of that, the supply line internationally will be severely disrupted.